The Pat Mayo Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Week 12 recap, Week 13 betting lines, and everything in between. If you are watching live, smash a like, sub to Mayo Media Network, and if you are a podcast listener, at the end of this audio podcast, I have included the audio from the Thanksgiving morning show that we did live on Mayo Media Network. Many people are saying it's the greatest show, and that's not just me, it's true. It's true. Many people are saying it's the best show ever. Sorry we're late coming on the air. Tim Andercuss was getting a victory tug for the Jets' victory over Adam Rank's Chicago Bears.
Mike White was so good today. Wonder why his stuff is in the Hall of Fame? It's because he's a very, very good quarterback. Throws it down the field. The weather didn't bother him, Zach. You know, the inclement weather didn't prevent him from throwing for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. It's nice that the Jets have their quarterback of the future, which is not who I thought was going to be their quarterback of the future.
Rank,
sir.
Were you following along with, is it Simeon or is it Peterman news? Because that was fun for like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I ignored that pretty much. All my friends, because I do a little Instagram live before the games, and I was talking about Trevor Simeon. It was like, everybody was freaking out. They're like, oh, my God, I think it's Nathan Peterman. And I'm like, does it matter? Do we think it's going to be? Is it that big of a difference? I mean, I think once we downgraded from, Justin Fields to Trevor Simeon, I think we were already like, oh, okay, Pearl Jam canceled, and some local band fronted by the dude who works the counter at Food for Less, and he might not play. Well, it doesn't matter at that point. We've already kind of accepted our fate.
By the way, you should hype up your Bears podcast, because I feel like this is going to get pretty fun for the rest of the season, because I have my largest wager of the year so far has been on Bears under 5.5 wins. So can you just tell them to sit Justin Fields the rest of the year? I
mean, I don't want to do that because I think there's a lot of guys like Jack Sanborn and Tevin Jenkins and Cole Kmet and, Eddie Jackson, the 2 rookies. Like, these guys want to win, and I want to see them be successful on the NFL level. And of course, this week it's the Green Bay Packers. So you kind of want to win that one for sure, especially since this is probably the last time we see Aaron Rodgers in a Packers uniform, if we even do, because he's been out there floating stories. Oh, now Ian Rappaport's running with it. Oh, it's his thumb. It's so broke. Okay, yeah, it's so broken that you've never brought it up on McAfee. Like, dude loves to talk so much about everything, and now you're casually working into conversation that you broke your thumb. Like, nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying that. What do you think, son? Are people buying it? No, nobody's buying it. He's 4 years old and he knows better. He knows. He doesn't buy any of that stuff. So it'll be interesting. So I think one more. That would give us to 4. So you guys would still be on your you know what? You shouldn't collect that bet out of principle, because the Bears are not your typical 3-loss team either. Like, they've played so well. In stretches, not today, obviously. I mean,
hold on, because this is what I wanted to get to, because, at a scale of 1 to 10, Tim, how excited are you for Jet starter Mike White the rest of the season?
10?
Okay.
11?
All right, that's not, okay.
Are you kidding me? The guy tore them apart.
If somebody offered you Justin Fields for Mike White straight up, you would say no.
As a running back or quarterback?
All right, this is ridiculous.
Because one can throw the ball with a little bit of accuracy. The other fellow was a marvelous football player, but is he a quarterback? Like, he plays really good in these games, and they don't win any of them. Yeah. They don't win any of these games. He plays so well, and they always lose.
There's a defense out there as well. Like, it's also the same thing with, like, Shohei Ohtani. Do you think he's not a good player because the Angels weren't winning games?
I think he's a fantastic player.
There it is. Oh, do you think he's better than Mike White?
I mean,
yes,
of course. One guy's the MVP of Major League Baseball. Well, American League anyway. Of course he is. Mike White's a really good – he's not a great quarterback, but in a league where there's so little good quarterback play, Mike White can turn it on. He's exciting. He's fun. For a team that got 2 inches per play on average in the second half last week, I didn't know what I was watching. That was the greatest turnaround in NFL history week to week, I bet.
I'm sure it was, but you also have to understand the Bears have been giving up a lot of production to opposing quarterbacks. Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, both of those guys were out. As a matter of fact, I feel like Mike White, who was my El Diablo pick on Total Access this week, kind of underperformed. The fact that he just 3 touchdowns, like Jared Goff could have thrown 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, like, okay. That's what you were expected. That was the baseline. Like, I was coming into this game saying anything less than 303 should be viewed as a disappointment. So, once he gets an opportunity to play another defense, we'll see how it goes. But I'm not necessarily saying that it was that impressive.
He has the Vikings.
Zach Wilson.
He has the Vikings next week, who Mac Jones, who's awful, tore apart. So I can't wait for Minnesota. I can't wait.
Listen, I picked up Mike White in a couple of leagues, and I'm definitely keeping him in for a couple of more. Some of the matchups are going to break out his way. So, listen, I'm cool with it. I have no worries. Like, okay, fine. Go do your thing, Mike White.
So good.
But Tua wasn't good today, according to you.
Tua played just perfectly fine.
He played for like one half.
He played well, but you want to talk about no defense.
And then you were lipping him for not throwing 300 yards.
Well, I have to find my little spot. No, look, he played well. He played very well. Let's see against San Francisco next week how he does. There's a real challenge. If he can tear apart the 49ers, well, then the last of the critics have to be quiet. But that's a very tall. There's a very tall order for him next week.
So we know that Mike White's already in the Hall of Fame. Now,
the Hall of Fame.
He already is. Jersey's in there. We saw that. He had the most passing yards, I think, as
a first-time starter.
Most passing yards today in the first half since Mike White had previously
for the Jets.
For the Jets. But I got to ask you this, Frank, about Justin Fields because I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call him a running back at this point. Is he actually the future of this team? Because he made a big leap up, but he was also dog shit for a while too.
I honestly don't think that it was his doing. Like when he was 500 before the.
Oh, now I can.
You can now.
I can hear you. Don't worry. Tim doesn't have to listen.
I gotcha.
Before he had his breakout, and they started doing a lot more of the designed runs, getting him involved on the ground. He was 2-2, and nobody wanted to give him any credit for winning football games. Nobody was interested in him. You're like, oh well, they're 2-2, and like, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that, and then he started doing this and he started doing that, and they're like, well, now they're not winning. It's like, well, you didn't care for the first month of the season that they were 2-2, had victories over teams like the San Francisco 49ers. None of that mattered until they didn't start until they were not winning. So it's an unfair thing, and it is really it's going to be something that he's going to have to deal with. And it honestly, like a lot of it, like we know why people say the things that they say about him, and we can sit here and we can dance around it, or we can pretend like it doesn't exist. But we know why. What's up, buddy?
Honestly, Adam, he takes too many hits. For a quarterback, he takes too many hits. His style of play is not conducive to playing a full season at that level. He has to learn how to harness that and pick his spots for it. If he plays like this all the time, he's going to keep getting hurt. It's an inevitability.
I guess the guy whose style is the most similar to his is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen's been battling an injury this year too, but he got injured in the pocket. Yes. Like he got hit, like their line is good and he got hit, and football is a very violent sport and guys are going to get injured. But I think that as they continue to build out this roster and, they're coming into next season with over $100 million in cap space, they're going to have now it looks like a top 3 pick, which will probably either be used on an elite level player. They'll trade down for additional assets or whatever it is. They're going to build around him. And what they're going to try to do is obviously lessen the amount of punishment that he takes. Right now, it was just, a necessity to go out there and play football. He probably ran a little bit more than he wanted to, probably took more hits in the pocket. He actually wasn't taking as many hits in the pocket as you would imagine over the last couple of weeks because he was so effective running the football. I just think that, when he's out there running, there are times where he doesn't need to lower the shoulder. When he's going to score an obvious touchdown, he could just score the touchdown. He doesn't have to end the career of some Lions defender. So I would like to see that a little bit more, but I think that's what happens to young quarterbacks. They have a style that, when they're younger, they take more punishment. Steve Young, when he was a young quarterback, took a lot more punishment than he should have. John Elway, when he was a young quarterback, took a lot more punishment than he should have. Josh Allen, like there's the quarterbacks that he tracks like did have that little bit of exuberance as a youth, but I think eventually they will get to a point where they play better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What are you doing?
Well,
Okay.
I think
Good
when you
job.
mentioned Steve Young, that's the equivalency I see in him as his potential. Like, I have been on this show for the whole year, been somewhat quite pro Josh Fields, but I think Fields needs to refine his passing game a little bit and harness that running a little bit. If he does that, and if the Bears coach him very well in the offseason, then they give him some more protection, I think his upside is tremendous. But I think it's the Bears have to really be 100% totally all in to reconstruct that roster to maximize his potential. And like with the Claypool trade scared me a little bit. I thought, here they're giving up resources for a receiver I didn't think meshed with maybe what they want to do. So I don't know.
I think he actually does a pretty nice job of opening it up for Darnell Mooney. I don't think that anybody's going under the assumption that Chase Claypool is going to be a number one wide receiver. But you know what? Sometimes, sorry, I've got a cap on my tooth. Sometimes you got to pay the price that it is. The price is what it is. And to get a player like Chase Claypool, who when you pair him with either, another guy they're bringing in either through free agency, through a trade, through the draft next year, he's going to mesh with that team. We saw Byron Pringle today also go out there and show himself very well.
Rank. Hold on. You're just naming off a list of like C- players. Come on now. Byron Pringle. I mean, besides like funding the team with his chip fortune, what else is he really doing?
But again, those guys aren't necessarily number one type receivers, but you're starting to build out a wide receiver room that you hope is going to be buoyed by somebody else. It's very similar. When Josh Allen was in his second year as a quarterback, his best receiver was John Brown. And
who's back on the team, by the way.
Who's back on the team.
Re-sign with
and
the Bills.
They bring in, yeah, I mean, it's great. But once you bring in Stephon Diggs, it's like, oh, it's amazing how different this thing looks. And that's what the Bears need to do. And I think that's what Ryan Poles is committed to doing. And I think that's the plan. And I think that, what they've set up to do this season, Ryan Poles laid it out very clearly, and he's followed the plan to near perfection. So I'm cool with it. I think a lot of Bears fans are cool with it. I think that we're just going to wait and see. And it's not going to be like I have to say the Bears probably aren't going to make the playoffs this year. But that's okay. That's okay. We're looking for next year. We've seen the blueprint from teams like the Eagles last year,
Jets,
the Jets this year. Yeah, absolutely. And so you know what? I think the plan is in motion, and I think next year we'll be having a very different conversation.
Wow, that's the most I think we've talked about the Bears since I railed them against them in the preseason and wanting to bet this under because I thought that they were going to be absolutely god
This is
awful.
the most intense I've watched them all season, other than that Packers game in week 2, because
which they should have covered, but didn't.
They should have. I think Fields scored the touchdown on the goal line in that game.
He did
100%.
For first play. You said he wasn't going to score the first touchdown, and then he scored the first touchdown.
He did, and I thought he was.
And
we
all won the money. He kicked off the who won't score first touchdown bet the rest of the season.
But
so Jets,
Mike White was so good.
But the coin now has incorrectly predicted
for the first time all year. That mystical coin has gotten the game wrong. I don't know what has happened. Because we're supposed to lose this game and then not lose again till the championship game.
Okay, at the Vikings.
Oh, my gosh.
We are going to win that game.
At the Bills.
I'll give Buffalo that in Buffalo.
At home against the Lions.
Jets win.
Home against the Jags.
Jets win.
At the Seahawks.
Jets win.
At the Dolphins.
I'll give that one to Miami.
Oh, really?
That's 5 losses, or 6 losses. That's 11-6. That's a wild card.
What do you think? Rank 11-6? What does your son think?
What do you think? Jets 11-6. Were you impressed by the Jets today? No, me neither. That's okay. They're still a very good team. I do like what we're seeing out of them. I think it goes back to what you've seen with some Jets teams in previous incarnations with Mark Sanchez at quarterback, where the defense has carried the day. And I think they have the possibility. The biggest bummer to me, and I'm sure for the Jets fans, is that they lost Breece Hall because I thought with the ability to run the football that they were going to be able to go very far. They were going to upset somebody. They were going to go possibly to the AFC Championship game. But I think 11 wins, like, I think that's easy. I think they clear that for sure. They should get that for sure. Yes. I would even take them against the Jets, or against the Jets. I would take them against the Vikings next week.
Me too.
I think that's a team. I think that's a team that puts it on Kirk Cousins. I like this team. Like, I was skeptical coming into the season, mostly because of Zach Wilson, but everybody else has exceeded expectations. So I'm like, all right, good team. It's a good squad.
And now Zach's not a problem anymore. So that concern, you can lay that concern to bed.
Okay. Well, that's
Elijah Moore came back to life. This is why they didn't trade him. And I think it was just a matter of time before everybody was finally like, hey, like, I guess credit to Bob Saleh, who eventually was like, Zach Wilson's going to kill himself. Like, he's going to do something. He's going to, pull the grenade without knowing it on his own career. And it just came last week, and it was, the obvious get out point of like, okay, when it wasn't your fault, sir, we're able to move on from you. And
one of the best coaching jobs in a week that I've seen from a coach in a while, to deal with the criticism, to pivot off his comments Sunday.
Well, according to you, one guy sucks and one guy's an 11 out of 10. How fucking hard is it?
Yeah, but he said on Sunday he was committed to Zach, and then he was willing
he's always lying to people.
He's
a liar.
Maturity to make...
The maturity of saying, no, we're sticking with him. Now we're not sticking with him. Fooled you.
I think he did a masterful job. And once again, the Jets, even though our open field tackling scares me a bit, we still held an opponent to 10 points or fewer. I mean, defense is special.
Look at the team that the Jets just beat. That's like a USFL team.
All right, fine. But we'll see next week. When Jefferson gets shut down, which he probably will be.
Wow.
Give me an over-under yardage right now. What do you think that Jefferson gets?
75 yards, but because if he plays his best and Sauce plays his best, Sauce wins that battle every time.
Every time, right?
And if they're not calling the pass interference on Sauce, which is
don't.
like he was just tackling Chase Claypool every time.
He's been doing it for weeks.
The one time that they called the pass interference was when Claypool actually caught the football. So I thought, like, I was watching this, and I do a lot more fantasy, so I focus in more on the offensive players. So this was my first time to really see a full game uninterrupted of Sauce Gardner. I'm like, has this been going on all year where, like, he can just do whatever and the referees are too afraid to call anything, which is great for the Jets. And that I would coach them that way. If they're not going to call it on you, then you might as well do it. So I see a situation where Jefferson could actually struggle because all of his yards would be pass interference yards. So, and I think that Kirk Cousins is probably going to look for some other players. Maybe T.J. Hawkinson or somebody gets into the mix.
Can't wait.
Raiders walk off in overtime. Josh Jacobs.
That's rough for Seattle. That was a game Seattle could not afford to throw away.
So let's take a look at the NFC now. Now that the Seahawks have lost, that means the Washington Commandos, who have won 5 or 6 in a row at this point, are now the 7 seed. All of the 3 other non-Eagles NFC East teams are in the playoffs. Now, we just saw this in the AFC. With the AFC East, that can't really stay because now these teams all have to play each other.
Yes, and the Giants are not good.
And the Giants Washington's not good either.
Washington's a far more competitive team than the Giants are. I think they play next week.
They do play next week.
They do.
I expect
they do play next week.
The Commanders to take care of them handily.
Give me the Giants in that game.
Okay.
Stop it.
I like the Giants on Thanksgiving, but and they were good for a half, and then they had
they covered the spread. Don't worry about the Giants. They kept it.
Just saying.
Richie James came through for us at the very end to get that cover. That's all we need.
The Giants have Cardinals 2020 vibes.
No,
or Steelers 2020 vibes.
Yeah,
they're all
Cardinals
coming down.
Look good.
That's fair.
During their winning streak to start the season. The Giants haven't looked good all year. No. They just win weirdo games.
Yeah, the Giants may win like one more game the rest of the year. That would surprise nobody.
So, yeah, I mean, we usually talk about the AFC on this show because all the lunatics rank on this show are AFC fans. You're an NFC fan. You got so let me throw some NFC teams by you right now. Vikings, frauds or not?
Fraudulent, very fraudulent. By the way, the biggest beneficiary, whatever it is, I thought a couple of weeks ago, when it was setting up to where the 49ers were going to be the 7 seed and the Vikings were going to be the 2 seed, I'm like, well, that's an automatic Vikings getting upset, not even making it out of this round. But they might actually sneak through a round because the 49ers are going to end up moving up the list to where they won't have to play them in that first round.
Okay. So the Buccaneers, who lost today to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Retain their stranglehold on the NFC South. Now the Panthers are now a game and a half back. Atlanta, should they have just not fumbled on the 1 yard line, would have beat the apparently unbeatable Washington Commanders, who revealed. Rank, did you see the Sean Taylor statue?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it is embarrassing.
Oh no.
Yeah, not.
Did Washington messed up again?
Yeah, they did not do a. They did kind of a disservice to not only themselves, the memory of Sean Taylor. It was a big marketing ploy for them. We got a Nike jersey on them, some Adidas shoes, some Reebok pants. It's not even really a statue. It's just a mannequin with the jersey.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not great.
That is not great at all. How do they mess that up? That's the one place where the Washington franchise can gain some goodwill is leaning into doing nice things about Sean Taylor. And even they can't get that right.
No.
Frustrating.
So what are the Bucks going to make the playoffs? I guess is my question, because I think that they are.
I mean, yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. I've been committed to them. I think if they get the right first round matchup, for instance, if Dallas has to go to Tampa Bay, that just reeks of a game that Dallas ends up not playing very well and finds a way to lose that game.
We saw that week 1.
Even though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm oh my God, that's another one where you're if the Vikings are playing host to the 49ers, if the Bucks are playing host to the Dallas Cowboys, I see the Bucks winning a game like that. I see the 49ers winning a game like that. So for me, the Buccaneers are making it. And if they get the right opponent, even if they got the Commanders, I think they would end up beating them. So it's one of those teams that's they're not good, but they have ways to be good. So I think that they can sneak out a win or two, but I don't see them as legitimate threats to go to the Super Bowl.
The X-rays came back negative on Tristan Wirfs, by the way, whose injury was so bad looking they refused to show a replay of it during the game.
But just continued to tell us how bad it was, but we can't show you.
We can't show you.
As if everyone's not going to Twitter immediately to see if they can find it.
Tim, if Vine still existed, would Herbert's comeback make a great Vine?
It would make a fantastic Vine. And despite calls for the coach to be fired, they won the game. I think the coach is terrible, but it worked out for them.
Do you think that was a plan on his part? He's trying to channel some of your big energy here, Feinberg, trying to get Staley and his college buddies fired after one drive of the game?
I don't know.
Because we saw two teams go for two to win the game. The Jags, Jumbo Jags, Steffi Graf leads them down the field. All good for the Jags beating the Ravens. And then you see the Chargers do the same thing. Were you kind of stunned, Rank, that the Chargers ended up going for it? Because Staley seems like he's been bullied off of going for it on fourth downs. Then he pulls this back out. It's like he's kind of reeling the Chargers suckers back in here.
No, yeah, he's setting us all up, getting us to believe once again. But, that was one of the things that made the Chargers so fun and so entertaining is that they were just ignoring their punter, which is cool. That's what we want. We want to see more exciting football. And franchises like the Chargers should be forced into these situations. Chargers, Jags, Cardinals, you guys always have to go for two. The Lions, yeah, you're going to have to sign Ronaldo as your kicker after the World Cup. That's why these teams exist, really. They're our experimental thing. They're like the fantasy teams that we draft that are coerced through our work. And we have to do it. And you're like, all right, I'll do it, but I'm not going to pay attention. And you know what? I'm going to start AJ Green this week or whatever it is, just doing something ridiculous. That's what those franchises are for. So I'm glad that Staley went out there and did that and fulfilled his obligation. And of course it worked out for him. It worked out for our friends down in Duval County. So I love it. I think it's great. I think Big Balls Brandon is back and I love to see it.
And Baltimore deserved to finally lose a game
what is going on with them?
They've been skipping and lilting through games without much effort and just sort of sleepwalking. And sooner or later, they had to get got, and they deserve to lose a game like this. So it looks good on them. Poor prepper. They don't look properly prepared or into games. Lamar is trying to save them at the last minute. Good on them. Good on Tampa. Two teams that just underwhelm week after week, Baltimore and Tampa. Good to see that they got the losses they so richly deserved.
Let's see. Josh Jacobs is the only player since 1950 to have 220-plus rushing yards and 70-plus receiving yards in a single NFL game.
I find that hard to believe.
Since 1950.
That
I
seems
figured
weird.
like Peterson would have done that once.
Yeah, but I think it's the 70 receiving is a lot.
It is. Or Tomlinson for that matter.
I mean, in
Or
fairness,
Marshall
200
LT, yeah.
220 rushing yards is also
also-
a lot. How many games in LT's career did he rush for over 200 yards? Was
Probably not that many.
Any?
Probably not that many.
That's a lot of like I think people really underestimate how much over 200
This
rushing
Raiders
yards is.
team is better than many of the teams competing.
Are
in the
they?
game.
Because
Look
they're
at all the close losses they've had. They've had
close
a lot
losses
of bad
like
luck.
jabroni teams.
I know.
Then why are they playing close games with the Cardinals?
They're 5 and
You think
7?
the Chargers suck?
They're-
They played a close game with the Chargers. They can't beat the Chargers?
They're better than the Patriots. They're better than the Chargers. They're better than all these teams.
But when
that
they
are-
play these teams, they don't beat them.
I know they're better
If
than
you,
the
if
Bengals.
you put Vegas in New England tomorrow, you think Vegas would beat them? Because they wouldn't.
They should. They're
They,
the better
but they
team.
wouldn't. They would not
They're the
beat
better
them.
team.
They'd score like 3 points.
They'd beat the Titans. They'd beat the Bengals. They'd beat the Ravens. They're not going to make it, but they are a supremely talented
You think
team.
that they're better than the Bengals?
Head to head
You
in
think
one
they're better
game
than
right
the
now,
Titans?
I would take the Raiders right now against both those teams. Because the Raiders can just anyway.
I think you're living off a wave of 2 back-to-back overtime wins here.
I'm just a bitter person who thought that Oakland would go far this year, and they're not going
They don't even
anywhere.
fucking play in Oakland.
Or wherever. They're not going very far this year, and it frustrates me.
Well, we were talking about the NFC, but here we are. Are the Seahawks going to
You're
be okay?
back to the AFC.
Are the Seahawks going to be okay?
I don't know. This is one that feels difficult to. I mean, I'm sure it's the NFL. And every time we want to give up on a team, like, oh, no, they're coming back to earth. Then they rally and they win another game. They win a couple in a row. And you're like, oh, we don't know what to think. This loss still seems very inexcusable. Like, this is one where we just expected. I mean, the Raiders, they had a schedule that's set up for them to be very good, especially in the second half of the season. And yet people were doubting them. They played way too many close games, lost to way too many curtain jerker teams, as you guys are pointing out. And you're like, they can't go to Seattle and win this game, especially against a team that's got Kenneth Walker, who's running the ball so well. Gino, despite what happened in Munich, has been playing so good this year. They're going to come out and win this game. And so I think for them to lose this contest is a very bad sign for me. And I'm looking at some of these other teams that are finding ways to win. Like, how do you count them out? So I think that Seattle, and I don't know who they're playing next week. I should have looked ahead, but I'm like,
they're at the Rams and Bryce Perkins.
The problem
Yeah,
with the
The
anti-Seattle...
best Perkins since Tiger Woods started making appearances.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
The thing that
gosh.
Seattle has going for it is that the NFC doesn't have any other teams beyond the Giants, the Commanders, and the Seahawks fighting for those playoff spots. And if you believe the Giants are falling out, the Seahawks can't fall out too. Who could possibly from that next crop of terrible teams really hop in? Atlanta? No.
Atlanta did themselves a
Carolina?
huge,
No.
huge
Exactly.
disservice.
There's
to
no one
huge.
with
Yeah.
only 5 or 6 games left for these teams. It seems very hard to imagine someone who is worse than Seattle 6-5 hopping them. So if the Giants slide out,
right.
the Giants and Seattle almost both can't slide out because there's no one to take that spot.
So
Right?
it's interesting
Yeah.
for the Seahawks right now. They have the Rams twice left on the
That's
schedule.
huge.
I don't think we're seeing Matt Stafford rank the rest of the season. He
I
has
can't imagine.
He has numbness in his foot. That can't be
Yeah.
good. It's not cold
No,
in LA.
what are they doing? Yeah.
Oh, you're
No,
there.
never.
Is it cold?
I'm here. No, it's like 20 degrees right now. It's perfect.
Hey, you said it in Celsius. Thank you.
We
Of
appreciate
course
that.
I did.
Yeah,
Of
because
course I did.
You would have said
I'm a
like
man of the world.
You would have been like 300 degrees. I'm like, yeah, that sounds reasonable and fair.
Watching a lot of World Cup,
Yeah,
where they're
that's-
only quoting the temperature in centigrade.
Exactly.
Or when they say in the World Cup that people run kilometers and Americans like lose their fucking minds. It's incredible. What's the hardest one to do? Like kilometers, people get, don't they?
No, I think Celsius is super easy to convert.
Well, zero's,
I don't know why
zero's
people-
freezing.
Yeah. Yeah, zero's freezing, 100's boiling. Like how simpler could this be? Like you just know 30's a little warm, 40's unbearable, 20's perfect, and anything in the single digits is bad.
Yeah.
Done. You figured it out. You've cracked the code. Kilometers, kilometers, whatever. That's a little bit, I don't know. Mile, I don't know. Who knows what a mile is anyways? What is it, like 5,200 feet? I don't know.
280.
Still, to this day. 5,280.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or
Like, it's
1760
fine.
yards.
But I was
3
talking.
kilometer high stadium.
I was talking to Tim about it earlier. Like you were saying, like people run 5Ks and 10Ks. They got to know like that sort of distance, don't they?
5K I know is less than, it's like 3 miles.
3.2 miles.
So
Yeah, 1.6 it's 1.6 kilometers to a mile.
Like 5K. Then you sound like you're a baller. Like, yeah, I ran a 5K. Like, ooh, look at you.
Yeah, it sounds
Look
better than
at
a
you.
it does sound better than a 3 miler.
I ran a 3 miler. You'd be like, get off your ass, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, you did that in high school.
People in the chat want to know about Black Friday deals. Rank, you get any Black Friday?
Oh.
Did you line up like a psycho like Tim does at 4 a.m.?
Never do any of that. I made the mistake one time of going to like a Best Buy, not even thinking of like Black Friday. It was just a day I just happened to have off. This was years ago. And I'm like, why the hell is everybody, lined up around the store? Where it's like, oh, it's Black Friday. And I'm like, okay, like what is, and so no, I've never wanted to fight that. I've never wanted to deal with that. I did take the kids out to the Old Navy yesterday. Oh, you want to have a good afternoon? You go to the Old Navy, pick out some hoodies, have a good time. It's got to have a red tag on it though. Like we're not paying full price for this. But other than that, no Black Friday for me. Now Cyber Monday. Oh, it's on. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Black Friday started what? You were complaining it started a week ago.
Well, that's it. It's like when Black Friday just starts whenever people feel like it, and you don't have to put any effort in anymore.
I did see that according to MasterCard, Black Friday sales through the roof this year versus last year.
What counts as a Black Friday sale? Sales that start a week before Black Friday?
Correct.
Okay, well, of course it's going to be more than before, because before you had to shop on the actual day.
But they did it last year too.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah, I never know. Like, that's the thing. Like, I wanted to go and hook up some stuff on NFL Shop. And I'm like, what is the best day to do this? And on actual Black Friday, it felt like it was more expensive.
Thank you.
And I'm like, well, I might as well wait and see if Cyber Monday's a thing. Or if I have to wait. Or what am I going to do? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, just make it the price, people. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
You're complaining about a week's worth of discounts. Both of you are too
like that.
rich.
No.
Take away your money.
No,
Defund both of you.
Oh, please.
We've been conditioned to fall under these weird guises of like, oh, you got to wait for Black Friday. I'm like, dude, I could have just bought it a week ago. Like, what am I doing? Like, I blame myself. I'm not mad at anybody. Like, I have the money. Like, what am I squabbling? Like, what is the significance going to be? $6? Like, why do I care? Like, what do I do? How often do I need to buy a television? Like, things like that. Like, it's craziness to me.
And if you do get like the super savings, it's generally not on like the high quality products. It's like last year's stuff.
It's a whole panoply of things. Some of it, yes, is last year's stuff, but some of it is like new, shiny stuff that are door crashers. That is good stuff that they want you to get there at 4 a.m. to buy.
They want to get rid of it.
That they want
what they want.
In other words, you got to earn it.
You don't have
That's why
to
we
earn
lift
it.
all those weights.
You don't lift any weights anymore.
You get what I'm saying.
I don't.
That you have to
You're
earn the
talking
discount.
about lifting weights, but you're not doing it. What are you earning?
If you want to get the discount, you got to earn it. These hipster millennials want everything handed to them for
like
nothing.
you? You're not even lifting weights?
I don't want everything handed to me.
When was the last time you lined up at the store?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not here saying that I demand an early Black Friday deal.
But you're going to get it anyway.
No, I'm not.
Well, I can.
Great. Okay. Congratulations then.
But I didn't have to do anything for it. It's great.
I hope your shiftlessness feels good.
I just had to show up with the card.
Great. Okay. Congratulations.
So you're so rich you don't even want the deal.
I can get the deal later.
When?
I'll get it at Boxing Day.
So you're going to wait 6 weeks.
Sure, after Christmas, when I don't know what I'm going to get for Christmas. So I'll wait to see in case I get it for Christmas, and if I don't, I'll get it then.
You're in your mid-30s. What are you getting for Christmas?
I don't know what I'm getting for Christmas. That's
like,
what makes
are you
Christmas
banking
fun.
on Christmas to fill out
I'm
your
always
apartment?
banking on Christmas to fill out stuff. You don't know what you're going to get. I don't want to presume.
Your parents just line it up like, do you still believe in Santa? Do they have like a big bag for you? Like, here's a TV,
I don't
Tim.
know what.
Here's a new bed,
Here's
Tim.
the thing.
Here's a new fridge,
What do you
Tim.
need?
What
are you looking for?
I really don't need anything. I'd like some nice artwork, but I really don't need anything. But in case I buy something, I don't want to buy anything now for like the next month for myself. Because I'm like, what if someone just gets me this for Christmas? And then I'm just
Give me an example of something that you want that you're afraid that someone might get you for Christmas.
That's good.
I do need a new phone case, for example. My phone case is starting to fall apart.
Like your $10 phone case?
I just don't want it was a little more than that.
So give me a price range.
like a $25 case.
Okay.
And I can go buy that tomorrow. That's no problem. But what if someone gives me a phone? I know my phone case is in rough shape. What if they get me a phone case for
Is there
Christmas?
any chance someone's going to get you a phone case?
I would say there's a 10% chance. But even if there was only a 1% chance, I'm still not. Why not wait till after Christmas just on the off chance? It's about being prudent.
It's about not
You
walking
need it-
around with
you
a
need it
broken
now,
phone
though.
case. Don't break your phone.
It's not a broken case. It's just getting old and it needs to be replaced.
What do you think that you are going to get for Christmas, Rank? Because you're in the same position of me. You're married, 2 little kids. You're not going to get anything, are you?
No. And whatever I get, it's not going to be what I want. And it's just like, or not something that I need. You know, like I don't need a lot of stuff. And Pat, I don't know what kind of situation you're in, but like we get sponsors or whatever. And I get, gear from Travis Matthew. I get golf equipment from Strixon. Like there's really, I'm good. Like, and it sucks for people.
So
because
we
it's
don't
like,
live the same life. We do not live the
I
same
need,
life.
I need your agent, Rank. Hook me up here.
But it's funny because like people complain, like, I don't know what to get you because you get it all. I'm like, well, then don't get me anything. Like get stuff for my children, like whatever, and not toys, not plastic toys. Get them books, get them whatever. Although today I did acquire a Kettle One neon sign, but it's an Angels neon sign that my kids are going to end up. I got it for like the garage, kind of thing. Like, oh, this is cool. My kids are going to be like, nope, we're taking this. They're both Angel fans.
As you'll find out if you're listening to the mid-roll of the audio podcast starting today, or if you watch Wednesday's Spread Pick show, which I highly recommend. Omaha Steaks, promo code Mayo, is the perfect thing to get. And this isn't even like a part of the read. I got my box.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's incredible.
I have one.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a steak, but I'm going to film you making it so people can see how you make steaks
100%.
and how you eat steaks.
100%. I'm on board with
You're
that.
on board with that?
Yes.
OmahaSteaks.com. Promo code Mayo will save you up to $30. But there's like a minimum spend. Like, it's worth it. It's meat sent to your house. If you don't know what to get for someone, like your dad, just send some fucking steak or something like that. Sounds easy, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Who wouldn't
It's
want a
the
box of
best.
steak?
If you don't know what to get for your dad,
my God.
get tickets to something.
No, get Omaha Steaks!
Well, yes,
Tim.
But once you've already purchased that, maybe you need to get another.
Get another box!
Okay.
Code Mayo. We'll get you a discount off that, by the way. But anyway, get it now because it's going to be like super sold out. So you should probably order it now so it shows up by Christmas. Boom, there's your gift. You can just go like this. Let's go to Omaha Steaks. I'm there. Promo code Mayo. Oh, good. I'll get 12 and I'll just send them off to people that I know. Just ship it right to their house. Don't need to go to the store. Don't even need to talk to the people. Like, Tim, enter your house. Steaks.
I can't wait.
Grilled chicken. Easy to prepare
Oh,
meals.
man, I can't wait.
Code Mayo. Who's not going to score the first touchdown tonight?
It will not be Miles Sanders.
You love Miles Sanders. Rank, so we've been doing this thing about who's not going to score the first touchdown in these games. And Tim, I believe, is 3 since we started. We started doing it week 2 with Justin Fields, who we said wouldn't score the first touchdown. It did score the first touchdown. I believe he's hit 3 of them so far of who's not going to score, and everyone just bets them to score. So it's like 3 for 10 at this point, which is big plus money.
Right.
But I think that the person who he said won't score has actually scored a touchdown in every game so far.
Yeah.
That's a
That was
magical
weird.
power.
That was weird. That is a good pick.
Are you watching this challenge by chance?
That is who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a week behind.
Oh.
Yeah, I miss Wednesdays because of the holiday in America.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right. I'm on a metric. I'm on a metric calendar, so I don't pay attention to holidays.
right, of course not. And so I don't know what happened. The last I saw, Jordan was pissed that he was sent down because Jay and him were having a little bit of a tiff, and which sucks because I like Jay, but it's been unfortunate that they keep winning, and then they have to throw people down there. I don't know why you just don't throw Darrell and
Or throw bananas in every time, like a sensible move.
bananas deserve. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, let's try. I mean, you work at NFL Network, so you might have more insight to this than anyone. We do a segment
Right.
on the show called "Program the A Block." So we'll pretend it's the ESPN show. It's PTI. What are the 4 lead stories going into tomorrow from the NFL from today?
Well, you got to figure out. You got to get Tom Brady in there, so that's going to be one. You're going to have the Jets drama, number 2, because that's a New York team. Whatever happens on Sunday Night Football is going to be a big thing because either Aaron Rodgers has rallied to beat the Philadelphia Eagles or not. And either their season's over or, you know what, there's still signs of life there.
And his thumb
And
is
then-
broken. I don't know if you know that, but his thumb is
my
broken,
God.
and that'd be quite a story.
My boy Wedge disagrees with that. He does not believe that at all. And so you got those three big ones. Who else is like? So you got to go for the big markets. The Rams, no, not exciting. I think the Raiders.
How about we didn't even bring them up? The Chiefs are just 9-2. Doesn't even look like they're trying to play good football.
My theory would be they talk about the two-point conversion wins.
Oh, you put the Jags and Chargers together?
Yeah, because they both went for two and they both got wins. They talk about that as the fourth thing.
There's a nomination.
Good idea. That's a good one.
I wish the Browns
solid.
had beat Carolina week 1. Or did they beat Carolina week 1?
Yes, they did with that
Wait.
long field goal.
What was the game that they should have won that they lost? Like the Jets game, for example.
Oh, yeah,
If they were
the Jets
just
game
in
they
the
definitely
mix,
should have won.
If they were just in the mix right now, they get this overtime win with Brissett. Watson's coming back next week and be like, do we think Watson's going to play? He has to play, right?
Yeah, you don't spend all that money, all that draft capital, and then not use Deshaun Watson, even though Jacoby Brissett's been more than adequate. But yeah, they've lost too many games. And, you know, I guess they're still in the mix. So,
Not really.
yeah, they got to go with Deshaun Watson. Sort of.
So, okay, so we go Brady, Jets and White, Jags and Chargers, 2-point conversion. Other nominees would be Bengals keep rolling. Looking like the team that lost in the Super Bowl last year. Looking like they're getting everything
they're
together.
a little under the radar.
I don't think Vegas is going to be one of those. They're too far out of the playoffs.
No.
You could have a dual Kansas City and Niners just coast to wins where they don't, like I said, it doesn't seem like they're
Yeah.
trying.
Challenge.
But like Adam
yeah.
said, whatever goes on tonight, there's no way there
Sure, but we don't know what that is yet.
But no
Except
matter
for
what
that,
it is,
Miles
it doesn't
Sanders is
matter.
probably
Doesn't
going to score
matter.
the first
Whatever
touchdown.
happens, it's a story. The Eagles
Doesn't matter,
crush
yeah.
the Packers, or the Packers beat the Eagles. Either way, it's newsworthy.
Washington wins again?
No, they're still flying under that radar.
Is
They're
it
not a big enough story.
6 in a row?
No, they lost to Minnesota when we had Kenny on.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
So
right.
it's like 6 of 7 or something.
Miami? I mean, does Miami go into that Kansas City and Niners route of like, they just steamroll? They bench their quarterback for
Yeah, I don't think that gets talked about tomorrow. I think as the week builds up, like that becomes
Yeah.
the story that you can't resist.
So we'll throw Sunday Night Football in here. Let's rank them 1 through 4. We're leading. You got your Kornheiser. I don't know what happened. He ate Wilbon, but Brady. What's wrong with the Bucks? Number 1.
Yeah. No, it's got to be the Sunday night game.
Sunday night game.
Okay, so
Unless
Jets.
it's absolute, yeah.
Yeah. Sunday night game, Jets, Buccaneers, and then they can fight about the two-point conversions and how analytics is once again showing the way forward, and people can scrap about that.
do people think? Here's the one thing I don't understand with all of this stuff. Do people think that analytics just works out like? Because you believe in analytics and you go for a fourth
Yeah.
down, that you're magically just supposed to get it?
No, I think the best criticism they can muster against the analytics is that there's no accountability.
There
'Cause
is
if
accountability.
but the idea-
You still have to execute.
No, but the idea is
There
if you lose, you can just say, like, there's no criticism about you going for it. You're, like, shielded from that criticism because the numbers told you to go for it.
But I would say
So
the
a
opposite
loss-
happens, though. Because the guys that get burnt the most by the media for all of this stuff are the guys that go for it and don't get it, rather than the guy who punts it away. Or is
Exactly.
the Titans and kicks a field goal for no reason down 7.
Yeah, that was the craziest moment of the day when the Titans elected to kick a field goal to go from 20 to 13 to 20 to 16. And they never got the ball back. Yes, they roughed a punter, but they never got the ball back.
What the kicker?
Yeah.
That was Vrabel, who's an excellent coach. That was a very, very dumb decision.
So Brady.
No, it's very true. And it's like being berated at a blackjack table.
I say I have glasses like you have.
Okay. Thank you, bud.
I say I have glasses.
You don't have glasses?
Yeah, I'll say I have.
Do you need glasses to be able to read the analytics sheet? You see yourself, right? You see that you're on, right? You don't care.
Both my sons did this to me last week on a phone interview when I was on Fox.
Yeah.
So at least you got much lower stakes here, and this is honestly really appealing, I think, to the crowd and really boosting our
Yeah.
Q rating. This is the most wholesome thing that's
People
ever
like
happened
it.
on the show.
Yeah, people like it. I mean, like this kind of stuff is fine. He's not being that disruptive. Oh, okay, buddy.
Are you saying that
Yeah,
Feinberg and I
yeah.
are not wholesome?
No, you two are not wholesome individuals.
Not wholesome.
You got him a
But
Matt
you've laid
Ford.
off the F words pretty well. So
Oh,
that's good.
I'm sorry. I thought he had left the room. I didn't mean to. Well, you know
No,
what?
you're good. He can't hear. I got the headphones on. He can't hear what I'm saying.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got him a fucking Matt Forte jersey.
It's like, remember
How dare you? Hey, do you like Matt Forte? Say yes. There it is.
I like
Yes,
Matt
you
Forte.
do.
He's a
People
good
like
player.
him.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start guessing the spreads?
Sure.
All right. Rank, do you want to be party to this or what?
Let's do it.
All right. So
Yeah, we talk about spreads on our show.
Oh, yeah,
People-
I forget that you guys are allowed to talk about this now. It's like it went from never existing to, oh, yeah, I know what this is. I've heard of this.
Yeah.
How are you guys
Like,
doing with that
oh.
anyway? Do you have to give out DraftKings lineups?
DraftKings. I don't usually do the DraftKings lineups because we're not allowed to play it, but we're doing it. And I always tell them like, well, that's like picking Powerball numbers, but not being able to play. Like either like it's cool and we can do it, or else like let's not do it. But they're like, well, we need money. You're like, well, there is that. And it was something that we talked about like years ago, because when the commissioner came out, 10 years ago, and he's like, we want to get league minimum revenue up to 85 billion or whatever it is. And it was like, how is that possible? I'm like, we haven't even scratched the gambling market yet. Like, wait till our game centers are sponsored by Harris or, like MGM. And I was laughed out of a room. They're like, they'll never do that. I'm like, okay, we'll see. And that's now what it is.
So the way that this works is we're just going to try to guess what the spread is for the game in even rotation. So everyone gets a chance to pick first, to pick second, to pick last. Paul will read out the spreads all from DraftKings, sportsbook.com. If you want a sports bet at DraftKings Sportsbook and then buy some Omaha steaks, okay, pals? And you got problems, use BetterHelp.com. Yeah, that's all of them. Perfect. DraftKings Sportsbook, though.
We have any more sponsors or not?
I'm trying to think. No, there is another one coming.
Manscaped?
No. My balls got too nicked. No more Manscaped.
Oh, no more Manscaped.
All right.
more
Shall we
Manscaped.
start out with Thursday Night Football here?
Let's do Thursday Night Football.
All right. We got my Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots.
So, Tim, you can go first, then me, then Adam, and we'll go in this rotation.
Okay.
And your son can help you rank. You might need help here.
Okay.
Tim's a savage when it
Okay.
comes to guessing the lines.
Bills by 5.5.
Boom. 5.5 out of You cheated.
Ooh,
You cheated on that one, Tim. You looked at that.
chance.
You must have.
No chance. I've been losing week after week.
Who says 5.5? Well played if you didn't cheat. All right, so Tim, out to the
So
lead.
Tim's out to a 1-0 lead. I'm up next.
All right, we got Tim's New York Jets at the Minnesota Vikings.
No.
Ooh, Vikings at the New York Vikings?
The
Jets
Minnesota
at
Vikings.
Vikings.
The Minnesota Vikings? Vikings by 3.5. Rank, I did not get it. It is your go.
At 3.5?
That's what I said. It's not 3.5.
Is it bigger? Is it 4.5?
It is not 4.5, Tim.
Vikings by 3.
Boom. Tim. Tim's
went
been
the other
doing
way.
homework. Nice start for Top Cat. All right, moving on down. We've got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Detroit Lions. Probably a game people will like on DraftKings.
Yeah, we were talking
but
about
not
this.
a game that you probably.
Tim
would
and I
feel
said
too
it was
good
just going
about
to make the
betting.
main screen next week. A lot of points. Rank, it is your go here.
I'll
Jags.
say the Lions are minus 3.5.
No. The Lions. The thing, the advantage I have here is I know the Jags get too much love every week for that.
That's what I was trying to think here.
Daddy, boop me.
I think it's Jacksonville by a point.
I'm going to say Lions by 1.5.
It's Lions by 1, but then that's edged to plus 100, and then on the money line, it's a straight pick.
So what's the line right now?
minus 1.
I get it.
Oh my gosh.
You.
So the Jags are basically favored.
The books love Jacksonville
It's a
every
pick 'em.
week, and they hate the Titans every
Pick them
week.
at Detroit.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Tim, your go here first on what game?
We got the Steelers at the Atlanta Falcons.
God.
Falcons by a 1.5.
Falcons by 3.
1.5. Tim nails another.
Are you serious?
One. This
Oh,
kid.
that's
This kid's on a different level.
Fucking
He doesn't
cheater.
have his phone in front of him. He's charging next to me.
Well, when I was inside putting on my face, what was Tim doing?
Oh, you're
he's
talking
Tim
to
was
Paul.
Tim was check. Yeah, you two colluding.
Researching
I see it
lines.
now.
Yeah, we're on to you.
The
Tim.
chat
I
thinks
can't
that
win.
the
I
chat
can't win.
thinks that you're cheating.
I don't have anything on me.
Well, you could have looked at it beforehand.
Oh, this one seems like a lot of fun. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans.
Ranks go. No, it's yours.
No, it's my go. It's Cleveland at Houston.
We talked about this inside. What the heck did this spread be?
Well, we don't know if Watson's playing or not.
Yeah.
Browns by 6. Rank.
Oh, you're wrong. Browns, I'll go 6.5.
Browns by 7.
Tim got it on the third one.
On the money.
On the money.
On the money. Like exactly right.
On the money.
I am
Minus
on
7.
fire. Mike
You guys
White is throwing
kinda fed on that
touchdowns.
one. That
This
was-
is
that was
such
a
my
softball.
day.
This is your day.
This is my day.
4-1 to 0.
I am the third revelation.
I mean, we should really be betting, I guess, Miles Sanders first
touchdown here.
If he's running this hot,
All right,
the
Rank, it is
Undercurse
your-
works the opposite way.
It is your go first on.
The Tennessee Titans at the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, this line will change based
But hey-
on what happens tonight.
But we don't know that right now.
Nope.
No, Rank put himself on mute.
Titans
Sorry,
at
I put myself on. No. I put myself on mute because my boy's getting a little antsy. I'm gonna go. What are the Eagles? They hate the Titans, so I'll say the Eagles minus 8.5.
It's not that high, so that's incorrect.
Can't be that high. It's you.
It's you. It's going this way.
Oh. Eagles by 7.
Eagles by 4.5.
Eagles 6.5.
You
Ding,
get
ding,
it.
ding, 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 ding,
At least you didn't get it right on the money this time. Nice work on trying to make it seem like you're not cheating.
Not that clever.
Wait, whoa. Pat won that one, I thought.
No,
I
I
said
went 4.5.
4.5. Yeah, that's right.
The spread is Eagles by 6.5.
Yeah, Eagles by 6.5.
Yeah.
Answer.
So
well,
7
he
is
said
closest.
7.
7
I'm
is
the
closest.
closest.
No,
it's not-
No.
It's not Price is Right.
Price is
It's
Right.
not
Wait,
Price is
we're not
Right
doing
rules.
Price is Right.
We're not
rules?
doing Price is Right rules.
Now it's illegitimate.
Next game.
All right, start it all over again.
Wait, hold on. Restarted. I was going Price is
Retake.
Right rules.
All
That's why I
right.
would go 6.5 instead of going 7. Because there's a strategy of going like, what are you saying? It's downstairs, bud.
Next game,
Go
Paul.
find
This
it.
is an interesting.
Sorry.
This one's a real spicy one. We got the Commanders at the Giants.
With you.
Who should be favored in this game?
Well, you're going to have to make that pick since you're first. Who should be favored in this game? Oh, here's the exact spread. Let's hear it.
Giants by 1.
Giants by 2.5.
No, it's going to be the Commanders are favored. They have to be.
By.
Oh, wait. Price is Right rules. Then I'll say Commanders half point.
Well, that would be closest. It's Commanders by 1.5 on the road.
Oh,
Which is
I-
very interesting.
I like the Giants here.
I
by
could
the
see
way.
it. I could see
like
it.
the Giants.
Very
I
interesting.
could see it.
Next game.
We got the Denver Broncos at the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens by 7. Incorrect. Rank.
Ravens by 4.
Ravens by 7.5.
Boom. Tim nails it.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean,
The Broncos are just unbettable.
yeah, nobody.
I get
just
that.
unbettable.
But you like what you see from the Ravens?
I mean,
No, but
Pat
the
teed
Broncos
him
are
up.
another.
He
Are,
teed him up with the 7, so he knew if it wasn't
Well,
7,
7 or
it's probably
6.5.
7.5.
the Broncos. Yeah, I was debating to go above or
But
below.
the Broncos are
But
a lot like the
are a
Jags.
cut-
The books still like
no,
the Broncos.
the Broncos are a cut below. I think everybody knows. but
Nobody's betting Mr. Unlimited.
They
At
can't.
this point.
They can't.
6-1 for Cuss at the moment. He's almost clinched the week. Rank, you are up first on this. Smash the like while you're here, by the way.
All right, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the LA Rams. I guess no real news on who's starting at quarterback.
It's not.
but
I think Stafford's done for the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Wofford
Yeah.
could play.
Seahawks at
on
Rams.
Oh.
I'll do Seahawks minus 3.
Incorrect, Tim.
Seahawks by 2.5.
Okay, I'll say Seahawks by 3.5, so I can get everything above that.
So you cornered the market. It's minus 4.5. Seahawks on the road.
Oh, weren't we gonna do if you get it exactly right, you get double the points?
I think we did talk about that, but it also depended which order you got it in.
I mean, it would be over right now. It would be over.
It would be over because he's just
For
like
Tim.
coming out of the gate cheating, getting
Yeah.
all of them correct.
I can't win. The Jets can't have a good offensive day. It's all dirt.
Well,
it's all
I
disappointment.
mean, just say
I
that
can't
Mike
pick-
Whiten is 11 out of 10 against the league's
I
worst
can't
fucking
pick.
defense.
I can't pick spreads correctly. The Jets can't be good when they have to score 31 points on their quarterback throws for 302
I mean,
touchdowns.
they did.
I think
They,
with
they,
Tim-
could
I
barely,
can't have
they
anything.
could barely limit Trevor Siemian.
I can't have anything apparently.
I
Everything
think
is,
when Tim handed me his phone at the beginning of this, he had just saved all of these spreads in his mind, and then this was a ploy to get me to
to
jump
make it
on his
seem like
side.
he wasn't cheating. I see.
That's the
Very
story I'm going
sneaky.
with.
You're like John Turturro and Mr. Deeds, pal. You're so sneaky.
I don't have
so
that talent.
sneaky.
I don't have that talent.
Is it my turn first? Whose turn is it first here?
I don't know. I lose track of turns.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I just
6,
went first.
7, 8. Okay, so it's Cuss' turn first. I'll get it exactly right.
All right, he likes this one. We got the Miami Dolphins at the San Francisco 49ers.
The books love San Francisco. San Francisco by 6.5.
San Francisco by 4.5. It's neither one of those two, Rank.
Oh, okay. So I'll take San Francisco 4.
Boom, rank.
on
Put
the
'em
money.
On the board.
That's a low number.
49ers by 4.
The 49ers aren't great. You watch them. They're not. They're not great.
Yeah.
They can be great.
I was gonna say that was 3 for me, but then it wouldn't have made sense.
No, you got to corner the
Yeah,
market.
you got to corner the market.
Gotta,
so
gotta
6,
take everything below it.
6-2 to 2. Tim, it is your.
No, I just went.
It was my turn first.
Chiefs at Bengals.
Chiefs by 3.
Boom.
That's an
Nailed
easy
it.
one. Rank's turn first on.
We got the Chargers at the Raiders.
Ooh, Chargers -1.
Raiders by 2.5.
Chargers minus 1.5.
Pat wins. Chargers -2.5.
Damn.
Basically the same as the Cardinals this week.
How about the Raiders be favored in that game?
But the Raiders are basically the Cardinals.
Raiders have been horrible.
Games
these days.
in
I mean, this is the
LA,
this is the
or
first
Las
road
Vegas.
Yeah, it
game
doesn't.
that the Chargers did not cover all year was today. But they won anyway. All right, how many games we got left?
We
2?
got Monday night or Sunday night
Chargers
football
covered their
and,
dogs.
and Monday
No,
night
they weren't.
football.
They were favored by 3.
Wait, did we do the
No,
Packers
they weren't. They were
Bears?
favored by 3.
Packers Bears. I'm gonna have to go to a different place
All right,
because
okay.
they don't have it on the board.
Okay, let's
probably
do Monday
because of
night
Justin
first,
Fields.
Or Sunday
I'll
night.
look for it somewhere else, but let's do
No,
these
no,
games
no,
first.
No, we'll do Monday night.
And Sunday night.
Yeah, let's
was Sunday
do
night.
Sunday night football first.
Did you just
we,
not listen to him?
we got the Colts at the Cowboys.
Who's first? Me?
It's you. It's old stretchy over.
Cowboys -7.
That's what I was going to guess. Cowboys by 7.5.
Cowboys by 6.5.
Cowboys by 9.
Ooh.
Tim gets
That's a
that
spicy
one.
one. All right,
I was gonna say 8.
I found a Bears and
Packers?
Packers line.
Is it Bears at Packers?
It is Packers
No,
at
Packers.
Bears.
At Bears. All right, Tim?
Packers by 3.
Boom. Nailed it.
Jesus Christ.
And Monday Night Football, should
runaway.
we
And
just
it's an
roll into
alt line,
that?
by the way, and I got it right anyway.
Yeah.
Roll
see
into
that.
Monday night?
Yeah.
All right, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bucks by 3.5.
Nope's never enough.
Rank?
Bucks by 2.5.
No, Bucks by 6.
Tim wins. Bucks by 5.5.
Really?
Damn.
That's really high.
The books also love Tampa.
I get that,
That's
but like,
true.
I could see being a field goal.
Nobody really wants to bet the Saints.
Now, why would you see them today?
That entire division is just in shambles.
Yeah.
Bad day for yours truly. Cust is the big winner. Jets win. Mike White looks great. He skunks us in the spreads. Rank, thanks for being on, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me.
Plug. OmahaSteaks.com.
Oh yeah. OmahaSteaks.com. You make sure you want to buy a steak for your family. Go that one. I forgot what your other sponsor was.
How about you're now sponsored? I'm now sponsored by your Chicago Bears podcast.
Oh, the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Ticket to the Rank. We take viewers' questions live on the air. Carmen Vitale and me are there every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, there's a Friday show where we preview the week. We will have a guest who talks about the Packers. We'll have a guest who talks about the Chicago Bears. And of course, we take a trip to Fantasy Island to get you some of the best picks for the upcoming week. And of course, we did talk about Mike White this week. And it was one of the guys, like, I don't like to do it. And I'm like, I don't feel great about it. But in situations where I was desperate as a human being, I'm like, well, you know, he's going to throw for 300 yards just because that's what the quarterbacks do against the Bears with Brisker and Kyler Gordon out. So that's what he did. So check out the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. Like, subscribe, do whatever, anything. Just subscribe. You don't have to listen to it. Just subscribe. It'll make me feel good.
That's how I feel about things.
Download it.
You can get gripping historical insights from Adam Rank, like every good wide receiving core begins with Byron Pringle.
Yeah. Listen,
He's a wide receiver 2 at worst.
If he was on the Jets, how good would he be, Tim?
He'd be like the third best receiver.
He better than Mimsy?
Yeah.
Is he better than Berrios?
Nah, I don't know. I'd rather have Braxton Berrios.
Is he better than Vincent Smith?
Berrios is not out there mossing fools like he did today. So don't even listen. When he was a member of the Chiefs, he was pretty good. And he was
had
playing
Patrick
a team
Mahomes throwing to him.
There you go. That's the whole point.
Not some guy I heard was actually just a running back.
He'd have something similar.
Tyreek Hill, because you guys listen. That's a narrative that's been started. Like nobody was calling Josh Allen a running back.
No, everyone just said he sucked.
No, everyone said he was incredibly inaccurate, and he threw at a 55% clip. That was the criticism of him.
And then he got better. Listen, I've been saying it on the show. I heard Rank made the comparison too. That is where you want to see Fields go. Whether or not he gets there,
I don't know that his upside is quite that high. But Steve Young. Steve Young is
Steve Young is a Hall of Fame quarterback,
but a very different style of quarterback.
I don't think he'll be as good as Josh Allen, but the Hall of Famer Steve Young.
So good was the wrong adjective. Style is the word I think I meant to use. I think he's more of a Steve Young style quarterback. He's just got to work on not taking so many darn hits and refine that passing technique a little bit, and he could be very, very special.
Many people say
that's a fair criticism of a second-year guy. That's okay.
Many people are saying that you deserve 4 McDonald's meals for winning 2 picks, for doubling me up. You're more than doubling me up.
Well, you've been beating me the last couple of weeks, so I've been thinking to myself all week, when you make your picks, spend a moment, think, what were the lines last week? What are the lines going to be?
I can't remember the lines last week, and I lost a whole bunch of money betting on these lines.
We're to the point now where there are trends with certain teams that we can diagnose.
I like that you're seeing this.
Yeah.
I like that you're seeing it. Even though that hat might be cutting off the circulation to your
There was
brain.
someone in the game wearing this hat.
I saw
in the stands, wearing it.
He looked cooler than you.
He had a cape. Everyone wearing a cape looks cool.
You should start wearing a cape.
I think capes are extremely cool.
No, you're dated. You can be like Jerry's lawyer.
I think it's Frank Costanza's lawyer.
It's Larry David who's playing the cape guy.
But I think it was Frank's lawyer.
Anyway, Rank, I don't want to take any more of your time. You can go back to being a parent. Thank you so much. Sorry about your Bears today.
Thank you.
I hope you get a top 3.
I'm not.
Oh, whatever.
I'm not. I needed that win.
When we beat the Packers next week, it'll all be worth it.
I'm cheering for you.
That's all I got.
Simeon or Peterman?
Thank you.
Simeon or Peterman playing?
Listen.
Simeon was not the problem today.
You're not playing. Listen, if you think the Fields is actually good, you can't play the guy with a dislocated shoulder.
No,
I'm sorry.
You can't.
We'll see. We'll see how he recovers.
All right. Tim Andercust.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, indeed. Tim Andercust, you can find at Tim Andercust on Twitter, as always.
Won't.
For me, it is at the PME. Rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening to the audio version, stay tuned for the killer Thanksgiving Day show. You are bound to get a few laughs from that. I guarantee it. You can find out who has the best bird on the show. That was asked for sure. Anyway, smash the like here, and I will be back later in the week. So I will see you next time.